300 Vespa GTS Sport. In Switzerland, 6,795 Swiss francs. We have 21.2 horsepower, maximum torque of 22 Newton meters. Weight is 172 kilograms. 0 to 100, I don't have it. I don't know if anyone measured it, but top speed is 118 kilometers per hour. Seat height is 790 millimeters, so it's 10 millimeters higher than with the 125 Primavera. And you see we drive pretty nicely up this mountain. I'm not quite sure what's the incline here, but as I mentioned, with the Primavera 125 I barely managed 50 on this mountain. Now 12-inch wheels come stock, and it looks amazing in this red. So now we're gonna go into the area where it's shiny still, so the sun is shining. And in case you're asking, I'm recording with the GoPro Hero 6, and the sound is recorded with the Zoom H2N. That's why the sound is so much better than most of the other people reviewing, because they just stick or attach the... Wow, that's a view. They just attach the microphone directly to the GoPro, and therefore it's crap. I give you really good sound. Now, a few points that I would have to criticize is, one is the light. We only have halogen lights, not LED lights, which, you know, I'm a friend of LED, or basically better light. It works, obviously, but I would prefer to have LED. However, with the other tests that I've done, just check on the top right from the 125 Primavera 2018 model, Vespa already started with LED, so I'm pretty sure they're going to include the 300 series pretty soon as well. Now, sun is setting, and obviously it's a little bit vice versa here, because I'm first driving and then I'm going to show you the intro. Or actually the intro is on top here, and then the driving part you see afterwards is recorded before. So kind of weird, but I guess you understand, because I wanted to record this beautiful sun. And we're going to actually stop here in a moment. Now, a few points to criticize. It goes really, really well from 0 to 80, 85, even with two people. Talking about Celsius or second person, I drove around 30 kilometers with my wife in the back, and she said even though the bench or the seat is comfortable, it's a little bit harder, which I like, or we like. It's a little bit too short. Even though my wife is small, she felt like she was falling off pretty much all the time. Not just because of the power, just because of, you know, the length of the seat. The feet bars, or whatever you call them, where the passenger can put the feet, are too far in the front, and actually for me as a driver, because of that, they're actually in my calves when I put the feet down, and they pretty much very easily fold in, which isn't good either. Halogen light I mentioned. Price, obviously, price here in Switzerland is 6,795 Swiss francs. Without any offers, which is really a lot if you consider that for nearly 7,000 Swiss francs you can get pretty decent mid-range bike already, with this 500 or 600 cc. Fuel consumption, people say in the forums, in the Vespa forums, around they can manage 220 kilometers before the reserve turns on, and then they are basically, yeah, very good, well done. And then they're basically, what the heck? And then they basically have a reserve of 30 to 50 kilometers, something like that. Brakes are good. We have 220 millimeters in front, 220 millimeters in the rear disc brakes. And let's go maybe here. And yeah, it's really good acceleration. Whoop. Obviously you're not used to having so small wheels, though I have a MSX 125, you can check the video on top as well. It's very nimble, 172 kilograms weight, 9.5 liters fuel tank, so I guess you should be able to reach anything around 200 to 250 kilometers with the 9.5 liters, which is okay, which is not bad considering the power output. Again, 21.2 horsepower and 22 newton meters. I drove it from Bern to Interlaken because I live obviously here. And if you're looking for a commuter scooter, that you drive within the city and a little bit of highway, not too far, perfect. If you have the cash and you want something with an image, with the history, obviously here it's a little bit bumpy, that's my voice is so bumpy, then go ahead, it's great. However, if you're looking for a commuter scooter where you drive most of the time on highway and above speeds of 80 or 100, I don't think so, because I felt when I was driving 105 to 120 kilometers an hour, the front was kind of wobbly. It felt to me at least like that, you know. I don't know if this really was, but I felt that everything up to 100 is fine. If you go above that, you can do it, but it doesn't feel as stable just because of, you know, the wheels are 12-inch and the scooter is very small in the sense of if you compare it to the maxi scooters, which have much longer wheelbase. Yeah, and that's pretty much. And one more criticizing point I have, actually it's a big one, is the helmet, or my full-size helmet, doesn't fit inside. It did fit in the 125 Primavera which you tested. However, in this one it just doesn't fit, so you can only have open helmets and no full-face helmets with the scooter, which again goes well with the style of Vespa, but for safety reasons I do not recommend that you drive with a helmet that is not a full-face helmet. Now, I have no idea where I am. I was just passing by here, so let's just see where we're gonna end up. But I think the view is awesome. Maybe we stop here and just take a look at it. Wow. So by the way, this is Interlaken. There's Eiger-Mönch-Jungfrau mountains. Eiger-Mönch-Jungfrau. We have the Brienza Lake on the left, you can't see, and we have the Tuna Lake on the right, which you see a little bit there already. But this is just amazing. So we are just above 1,100 meters height. So how about we stop here and do the introduction here? I think that's an amazing view. Now, one more criticizing point, as we are already here. That side stand, look at it. Not so good, because it right away goes up. So then to open it, electric, so you have all my stuff there, which I'm going to show you in a moment. And then to open here, we have USB charging point, some tools, and space for, well, pretty much gloves and your phone. So that's the Vespa 300 GTS Super, and it just looks awesome. Let me take out the helmet and give you a little bit more introduction here. Okay, so welcome to AutoReview, and actually today we have a Vespa, so it's a scooter review. It's not even bike review, it's a scooter review, but it doesn't matter. So in case you're asking, you obviously saw it already. Again, I mentioned this is Interlaken area, Bödeli, with Eiger-Mönch-Jungfrau, the lakes, Hubcan over there, and we're going to fly in a moment as well, the drone. I'm not quite sure if you saw the intro after we drove, or if you see the intro and then we drive up the mountain, not quite sure. But specs: Vespa GTS 300 Super. We have ABS and ASR on board, but you get traction control. What it does is we have a sensor in the front wheel, we have a sensor at the rear wheel. If the rear wheel is spinning faster than the front wheel, the engine cuts some power back or limits the power, and therefore you're not going to have a rear wheel that will lose grip. Good for rain, good for slippery conditions, everywhere where it's good. Good. Now, price for the Vespa GTS 300 in Switzerland is 6,795 Swiss francs, which is wow, if you think about it. But again, Vespa is, for me, the brand that invented the scooter. It's like Apple. You compare it to Apple, because you buy a MacBook and 5, 6, 7 years down the road, you're still going to be able to sell it. You buy a Vespa, even though you have 10,000, 15,000 kilometers on it, as long as it's serviced well and it looks pretty good, you're going to still be able to achieve a pretty good price. So they're very price stable. Therefore, the price, is good. So we have a 1-cylinder, 278cc 4-stroke engine producing 21.2 horsepower at 7,750 RPM, maximum torque of 22 Newton meters at 5,000 RPM, 172 kilograms, top speed 118 kilometers per hour. You can drive with 2 people, obviously, here. Seat height is 790 millimeters for the driver. Obviously, passenger is a bit higher. What else? Fuel tank capacity 9.5 liters. And as I mentioned, either you saw it already or you've seen it, you're going to see it afterwards. With that fuel tank capacity, you should be able to reach 250-ish kilometer, depends on how you drive, if you drive a lot of highway or not. Now, few points that I would have to criticize is, personally, again, this is my opinion, and maybe you don't care about it, but halogen lights, it's a bit last century for me. I would like to see LED lights. However, I expect Vespa to upgrade the 300 GTS at one point, maybe 18 or 19, with LED lights, because the test of the 125 Primavera, I'll link it up here, you can see it here, just click on the eye, it already has LED lights in the 2018 model, so I guess we're gonna get it pretty soon. One point. Second point, there is not enough space in the, or below this, in the bench, in the compartment, to put a full-size helmet. You're only gonna get the half helmet, which from a safety point of view, crap. They look fancy, they fit Vespa as a theme, but if you're gonna commute with this, other than in summer where it's maybe nice, and again, I recommend do not drive with shorts, do not drive in flip-flops, do not drive with only a t-shirt and with this open helmet, but a lot of people do, so my recommendation, don't. Whatever you do, up to you. Then the seat for the passenger is pretty short. One criticizing point as well is the foot bars, which you see here. It's a cool mechanism. However, for my wife, for example, she is 157, 58 tall. It's a little bit far off, and for me, it's pretty much when I sit here, I always have it in my calves, and they pretty much fold in very easily. Would be maybe better other way around. And speeds above 100 kilometers an hour, 105 to 120. It reaches 118, which is great, but I felt like the front wheel was kind of wobbly at one point, and you can't drive it for 10 kilometers. I drove it like straight for 10 or 15 kilometers with 120 full speed, and was okay, but obviously because it's kind of a short wheelbase compared to the maxi scooters, it doesn't feel as stable at this speed. Everything up to 100, no problem whatsoever. What is cool is we have an electric boot release. Let me just put this one down here. You can hear it. Gas, what I really like is when you actually take this one out, you can get to the engine right away. So it's a great thing. However, again, it doesn't fit a full helmet. Yeah. Close this one up. Then we have a hook here, which you can open and then hook something. Works well. I had a rucksack there. However, everything is chrome and really nice and metal, but this one's plastic, so just make it please out of metal as well. Then if you open the glove box, you have a USB port on the left side and pretty much space for small gloves. Motorcycle gloves, no way, just some fancy leather gloves you can put there. Then we have a little bit of tools here. Basically, I don't know what even inside there, and maybe you don't need that and put, I don't know, lollipop or whatever. And that's pretty much it. So 12-inch wheels, front, back, 220mm disc brake, front, back, and it just looks amazing. I mean, come on, Vespa looks amazing. The finish is awesome. It's a perfect scooter to go to the ice bar. What do you call this? Ice cafe. And yeah, that's pretty much it. So if you're interested in getting Vespa, please check out Michael Zweiräder in Wabern in or around Bern, which is the capital of Switzerland, by the way, so a little bit of geography, and I'm just going to put it somewhere here, and you'll find the link to the website below. So just tell them I told you to call, and maybe he's going to give you a good deal as well, you never know. And yeah, so thanks a lot for watching. I hope you liked it. Please subscribe, like and share, comment below, ask if you have any question. I'll try to answer them as good as I can, because obviously I'm going to return this tomorrow, and then I won't be able to test anything anymore with it. However, I'll be able to hopefully tell you some things about it. So that's it. I see you next time. Have fun, subscribe, like, share, and enjoy this view because we're gonna fly the drone now. Bye.